Hey man, today on our show, we're gonna flash our balls.
We're gonna undress Batman.
And guess what, man? We're gonna introduce you to me and Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones. That and so much more on the DC Direct version of Fat Man on Batman. Let's go! You like that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you hear those ebony and ivory tones,
That's how
man?
we do, yo.
That's right, man. I'm Kevin Smith.
Marc Bernardin.
Welcome to Fat Man on Batman. This is the DC Direct version of the show, man, where all we talk about is DC-related stuff. Last edition was Marvel. This is all about DC. That covers the comics, that covers the movies, that covers the TV shows, and we're going to dive into it soon. But before we do that, I just want to share something with you, man. Like, I was on an episode of Babylon, Hollywood Babylon podcast I did last Friday, and we put up the trailer for Batman versus Superman. And as the trailer was playing, you know, they showed Ben's Bruce Wayne getting out of the little car, Bat guy in a little car, and he gets out of his little car. And while I was watching it in the room, you know, we were at the mics because the show's live, and I was like, hey, it's that asshole from Fashionable Mail. Just a real throwaway Mallrats joke. Somebody heard that on the podcast and turned it into this tweet. There was a two-parter. He did both parts.
That's awesome.
And there's the other one, which is like he talks about like says the bad words, and Ben has that. Bruce has that little smirk. I don't know what the name of the dude on Twitter was. Did it? Somebody tell me real quick. The dude's a
like
genius who made my day.
or something.
Yeah. Engines. Yeah, something
Engine
like
68.
that. Engine Studio. Engine 86 Studio. Something. Like that. Anyway. I love the internet for that very reason, man. Like, I made a half joke, that dude turned it into a reality.
Yeah. You know,
He's got like 10,000 likes on my Instagram account, man. That guy's a genius.
The other thing that's a little weird is that apparently there's a meme going around that I'm a black guy.
What do you mean?
I know, it's kind of strange. I'm glad I discovered this thanks to the internet.
Is it a picture?
There's a picture of like some white lady going, Bernardin is black. And then there's another one of Donald Glover going, damn right Bernardin is black.
That's genius.
That's weird.
It's so weird. I saw somebody tweeted, again, we're still dealing with the fact that some people didn't know that Marc was black. And I saw there was a tweet from somebody who was just like, I thought it was weird how two white boys went on about inclusion and diversity so much.
Yeah.
But
somebody said, I just thought you were a dulcet-voiced French Canadian.
They thought, oh my God, they thought you were Canadian?
They thought I was a little Canadian because of the name.
Bernardin. Oh, that's right, man. You could be from
Marc
Montreal.
Bernardin. How
Marc Bernardin. What is it?
Dan Murphy's a Twitter.
Dan Murphy.
We
Dan
love you,
Murphy made my day with that thing, man. Plus, you turned it into Instagram clickbait. Thanks, man. More of that, less everything else. All right, let's talk about the big news, man. It's big news, Brzezinski, about the DC Universe. We're going to start off. Where do you want to go first? Where should we go first,
Should
Matt?
we do Batman costumey shit?
Yeah, can we, or is there an order to how we have to talk?
Whatever you want to talk about.
Let's talk Justice League. We'll start talking about Justice League. So throw up a Justice League graphic of some sort. Because people are like, Justice League? What's that?
Who?
Just in case you forgot, there it is.
What?
That's they're the DC Universe equivalent of the Avengers shot.
The
Trinity, if you will. Before we go deep into that, we got a story here, man, about a costume designer. Works on this Batman v Superman picture. Michael Wilkinson was at this Comic-Con. I guess it was in Brazil.
Yeah.
They had a huge Comic-Con where they showed like footage that we haven't seen here in the States.
I've been following Jim Lee's Instagram because he was down there. It looked bananas.
It looked crazy.
Yeah.
Like it made our Comic-Con look like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's adorable.
That looks like a Wizard Con or something
America.
like that. Yeah.
How
they
cute of you.
And everyone, like, a lot of cool people went. We were not invited.
Not so much.
No.
I would go hard in Rio. Like, if they're going to fly me down to Rio, I will put on the little bikini.
Is that where the Jesus statue is?
I think it is, yeah.
If they, for Comic-Con, if they put like a cowl on that,
oh my God,
that would have been amazing. He's just up on the hill
and then
with
it
a back
falls
out.
off the fucking mountain.
We shouldn't have fucked
God
with
has
Jesus.
spoken.
And that'll learn you kids. Don't fuck with Jesus.
No.
You don't fuck with the Jesus. There you go. Makes it movie relevant. Okay, so costume designer gave out some information.
Yeah. Like
about
probably more than he should have.
Probably the most loose lip sync ships. This person might be fired, but talked about confirmed things that no studio people or anyone else involved with the movie, including Zack Snyder, have confirmed for us. Including, number one, that footage of Batman in the desert and wearing a Silent Bob trench coat and stuff and fighting what could be parademons.
Possibly.
That is Batman's
I know.
vision.
I am wrong on that.
You hoped it was Wonder Woman,
I
which
hoped
I liked.
yes. It would, whatever. I'm glad to take the bullet on this one. I mean, it would have been better, but whatever.
Listen to this. So they were shooting the film in London for a year, 6 months of prepping, 6 months of shooting for Aquaman. This is all costumey stuff. They got the idea to use tattoos for Aquaman from Jason Momoa himself. He's got these fantastic tattoos of his own, and the costume designer, Michael, says, I got my mind thinking about how to go in a really interesting new direction for the scales that we usually see on Aquaman, so we decided to do them with tattoos and some cool armor. I think Aquaman does look badass.
Yeah.
Like, I think it looks really, really cool. It's not the Aquaman I grew up with. The orange shirt's gone, so be it. Orange shirt's gone in favor of actual pecs, which is kind of nuts.
I remember seeing another meme online where somebody interviewed Jason Momoa at an airport and was like, so does your Aquaman swim? He's like, yeah, he's Aquaman. It's like, did you have to learn how to swim for the role? He's like, I'm Hawaiian, bro. That was his answer. Just moving on. I'm Hawaiian,
and I'm
bro.
not on Hawaii anymore, so it tells you I got off the island, so I know how to swim. Batman, in their universe, he's been fighting crime for 20 years, does not need gadgets or armor.
He's like the James Bond list.
Interesting. Real power is his strength. Lots of engineering in the suit so he can turn his head with the cowl on. They had to build a better mousetrap for that.
But then doesn't the suit become a gadget?
Good point.
I mean, I'm just
Marc
saying.
Bernardin just beat you at your own fucking game, costume person. No, you're absolutely right. It is kind of a gadget. I think what they're meaning to say is it's not. Maybe. Well, this is weird because they're saying he doesn't rely heavily on gadgets, but in the trailer, it's a bat wing shooting bullets and a
He's
gun,
got a gun.
which we found out is a grenade launcher.
Because this Batman likes guns.
Because he's just like,
These
the
are not
quickest
the
way to
weapons of
pieces. Obviously, Batman would only use that against something as big and unfinished looking as Doomsday. And also, for the record, a lot of people are like, you're crapping on that movie. No, I'm not. I can't wait to see that movie. I'm in love, man.
All over his face, neck, and chest he went.
They said totally, but they said that we were kinder to Civil War or something like that. But look, I can be a little disappointed with the trailer. Go off my dick.
It's 2 minutes of a thing.
Yeah. And again, we said that like we're totally gonna go see it and whatnot. But yeah, I saw a few people like, hey man, you fucking turned your back on Zack Snyder. I was like, no, I didn't, dude. I'm there. Regardless, Zack Snyder wanted a Batman that's a little bit older. This Batman doesn't need gadgets. He already said all that. We wanted to have a bat suit that he could look over his shoulder and do all these moves. That was very important to us. There's a whole lot of engineering in the cowl of the bat suit.
So no more of the Christian Bale,
Which, to be fair, he turned it into a helmet. Well, he
Right.
didn't, but the movie did.
The guy did.
And that made sense. But I have a feeling it's a mixture. When they say there's a lot of engineering in it, I think there's a lot of CG to get rid of any rubber bunching or whatnot. Rubber baby bunching. Say that.
Rubber
a few times
bunching.
fast.
The name of my new rap group.
That's the engineering. That's my guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nightmare Batman sequence. It's Batman Vision, man, not Wonder Woman. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
Zach had a great idea of this sort of nightmarish vision, almost a vision of the future, a post-apocalyptic vision. It's like a dream that Ben has. I guess they mean Bruce. So we wanted to have it almost a Mad Max quality to it, where it's like the end of the world, trying to survive, and then of course Superman and his minions come. So those are minions, including the flying things. They didn't say anything about parademons. So it's sort of easy way of representing the amazing amounts of the sort of obsessive quality that Bruce Wayne has about the threat of Superman. So it's a dream sequence.
All right, got it.
Which, like, I'm happy to see him in the desert fatigues. Like, I know it's a dream, and they got to use a lot of that footage in the trailers now. But how awesome to see! Like, we're getting so spoiled. The first time you saw that image of him in that overcoat and a duster in the desert, we were like, oh my god, that's nuts! I've never seen that in a movie. Like, I haven't even seen a snow variant of Batman's costume in a movie, and I got 12 of those action figures. So once they showed that image, I was like, oh wow, it looks Elseworldsy, man. That's kind of badass. So at least they're showing us something different. Like, his whole suit is different, and Zack Snyder could have gotten away with like, you got a brand new suit, he looks like Dark Knight, go fuck yourselves. But instead he throws in, look at Desert Batman or Nightmare Batman or something. I hope to see 3 more costume changes in this picture, Mark.
Ooh,
you know what I'm
Lucky
saying?
Charms Batman?
Fun at the beach Batman. I'm mourning my parents Batman, stuff like that.
Beach Batman?
Yeah.
That would be great.
You know what
like
I'm saying?
the Bermuda shorts.
We've seen didn't they do that on the Batman TV show? He surfed
did.
at one point. All right, so The Flash. We get a glimpse of him in Dawn of Justice as that ain't the glimpse, that's a little graphic, but in case y'all don't remember what the Flash looks like. But the in Dawn of Justice, you get only a glimpse of him. He has a different silhouette than the rest of the league. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
The costume designer said has a different silhouette than the other ones, and I think that's what makes the Justice League so amazing. The Flash is more like an Olympic marathon runner or something like that. He's shredded, and he's not as bulky and as huge as a lot of the other guys in the league. So maybe that's what they mean. He's not going to be like ripped like Momoa and stuff.
Right, just everybody just standing there as if they're going to lift something big.
It cuts a different silhouette, man, as does Wonder Woman, and that's our next one.
Yeah, she does.
They said we wanted her strength, her power to be tangible. I mean, it's touchable. We wanted her to stand next to the two male counterparts and be very much their equal. She has this incredible power and strength. She also combines with grace and compassion and majesty that makes her, boy, he's just
seriously
sucking her fucking dick, isn't he?
Also, none of that has anything to do with the costume. Like, here's the dude who's like, she's
there,
awesome. Why is she awesome?
Son of a bitch.
She's magical and she's super strong and tangible.
Yeah, what? He turned into an 11-year-old just talking about his favorite aspects of Wonder Woman.
11-year-old from like Ohio. She's great, see?
At least he's waxing rhapsodic about a character we all love. I try to find the upside to all these things.
Yeah, it's way better than being like, God, I hated that fucking character.
Yeah, he's like, or I dressed her in whore pants or something like that.
I gave her a battle skirt. Who has to do a battle skirt?
Or I gave her leggings. That would have touched off a controversy where people have been like, it doesn't look like Wonder Woman.
Why does she have a jacket and a gun?
I bet she will have leggings at one point. And totally can.
Why not?
Yeah. They showed her in the outfit. She's wearing a variation of the outfit that everyone recognizes and stuff.
You know, she's going to have 8 costume changes.
I hope so. I hope they all do. If they were fucking smart, they want to sell a few more figures. I'm telling you, man. Like, just vary the outfit up a little bit. I'm tired of buying figures where it's like he's green. That never happened in the movie. Like, just show me a different fucking costume.
Tank top Superman.
That'd be amazing. And they'll break off a few more toys and shit. I don't care. I'll buy them. Superman. Here you go, man. The big guy. Costume's a little different from Man of Steel and has a Joseph Campbell quote weaved into it.
What?
You know, because Joseph Campbell is the king of Krypton.
Yes, the man of 1,000 faces.
The quote is, where we thought to stand alone, we will be with all the world. But it's written in Kryptonian. It says that, dude. So, boy, that's inside baseball.
Pretty
man.
much.
Like 3 people on the planet are going to see this, and one of them was wearing the costume.
This is the equivalent of like those old Disney animators who used to put like naked frames into the cartoons. That
I
only
put
they
a
would
cock
see.
in the Little Mermaid. You ever see it?
Baby Huey just looked right up her dress. Isn't that great?
The Superman costume, says the costume designer, we have all new material. The suit is a little bit more sheer, so you really get the sense of this metal undersuit coming through the blue oversuit. And we have new fabric for the cape. Cape was mostly digital in the last picture, wasn't it? Like every time they cut to the cape.
Why does he need a metal undersuit?
Because he's Superman, to protect him from the...
Is he incontinent?
Like, and when he takes a super shit, you better have something metal there. Because he's metal, dude. This is a metal Superman. That's Zack Snyder said. He said, I want this Superman to be more metal. It's a piece of fucking metal in him. I'm in. I'm crazy in. I can't wait to see this movie in a big, bad way. There's another story, and people are going to think I'm kicking its balls, but we try to talk about everything related to the subject matter. The Dawn of Justice trailer went up, and again, as I said last episode, I watched it 5 times and then liked it a lot, quite a bit. So I'm a fan. Now, that's the numbers? Holy shit. Numbers just in. Post those over here, man. Slide those in, man. Grim numbers we need to share with you. Now, bear with this means nothing, or maybe it means everything. Civil War trailer, which was the first of its kind, the very first Civil War trailer, dropped last week, 61 million downloads.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's
a robust number.
Pretty fucking robust. Dawn of Justice, let's go to a 2-shot for this.
Yes.
Dawn of Justice, well switched.
2 days later?
Dawn of Justice drops 2 days later, but this is not the first trailer, let's be fair.
Correct.
It is...
the 4th, if you want to count that first costume tease.
What was the first costume tease?
It was just literally like the camera revolving around like the bat cowl, and there was a voiceover.
Oh, that's right. Right. So that was a tease.
There's another like.
Then the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, which everyone eventually saw. That's the first big trailer. This is the second big trailer, and then there was the pulling the mask off on Gotham that we all saw, but not while watching Gotham. We saw it online later. So, though technically this is the 4th Batman v Superman trailer.
Yeah.
So give it a little space. Civil War downloads for the first trailer, 61 million. Dawn of Justice, second trailer, 22 million downloads in almost the same span of time. Can we look up how many downloads the first Batman v Superman trailer had?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that'll be a better comparison, but some people are trying to use this online to be like, nobody gives a fuck about this movie. Bullshit. This movie's going to make $1 billion, man.
And I would also wonder what the comparison is to the first Star Wars trailer.
Excellent point.
Which
everyone though, this is giving this Batman v Superman trailer is giving. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, kids, but there's a Star Wars movie coming. The BVS, for short, as we say, trailer is giving everyone ample opportunity to praise the marketing of Force Awakens for hiding everything, for showing you things that make you want to see the movie, but hiding almost everything.
Know nothing about what happens in it.
Don't know what's going on in that movie.
Nope.
Hopefully we will when we see the movie. That'd be sad if you walk down. You're like, I'm puzzled.
See it through the lens flare.
There ain't a lot of that.
I know.
But I'm telling you, man, like it's. I don't think it's a sign. I don't. Some people are trying to write articles like, "Are they in trouble?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, welcome to the internet, where they have to have a thing to write about every day, all day.
It's true.
So
they got my attention.
What's the story? This. Why? Cause. All right. Like I remember there's a story when Force Awakens got a rating. Like Force Awakens rated PG-13. It's not fucking news. Like every movie gets a rating.
Were you surprised that it wasn't an R? Like I was hoping for hard R, man.
NC-17, bitches.
I was hoping to see somebody come in that movie. Is that not going to happen anymore?
No.
What's Awakening? Why am I going? Yeah, no. Of course it's going to be PG-13.
Bullshit, man. There's no nudity.
Yeah, but then you're right, man. It's a fucking constant news cycle. So you gotta
something's got to fill it.
You got to feed it. I mean, we're part of the problem.
I know. Look what we did.
We're not part of the solution. We're literally talking about things we don't even know about, pulling from other people and going like, sounds cool to me. Or would you rather watch this? And pitching alternate versions. But yeah, man, fandom will lead you to do some wacky stuff.
It totally will.
I would not worry about those numbers. 22 million versus 61 million.
No.
My mother, look, Marvel doesn't need my mother, but she doesn't know the Civil War is coming. She has not said to me, why are Iron Man and Captain America mad at each other, Tiger? But she has said, why are Batman and Superman fighting? I thought they were super
Is it
friends.
Dormammu?
Yeah, no. That's next. My mother knew Dormammu's name. The Geeks truly would have inherited the earth. So
on YouTube, the Warner Brothers page, only has 57 million for the first Dawn of Justice trailer in total right now.
Okay. So
still lower than the 61 million that Civil War's first trailer has pulled in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Marvel's on point, man. Like 8 years of building a brand,
it pays off.
Yeah, you know how to drop a trailer or open a movie and stuff, and Marvel, Warner Brothers, DCU, figuring that out now. But these are not like,
Yeah.
It's like, you can't have a 12-inch dick, but I'll let you keep your 9-inch dick. Like, awesome, thanks. That's coming from a man with a 3-inch dick, so.
It still hits the ground. It just doesn't leave as big of a trough.
Hits the ground. Every time mine hits the ground, somebody punches me in the back of the neck while I'm pissing at a stall. Oh! I hit the ground, mouth open in the toilet and shit. People are like, didn't he make Clerks one?
Thursday.
The first Star Wars trailer is at 75 million right now.
Oh, so it's crushing both of them. That's the first Star Wars show. Wow. I mean, Star Wars in a brand. If you're gonna do a brand observation just based on those trailers, Star Wars. How many? 72.
75 million, and that's only Fandango. That's not counting any other of the uploads that are on YouTube.
Oh my God, that's not even catch. Just Fandango, not counting anything else. Heaven. So Star Wars, Civil War, and then Dawn of Justice.
Nostalgia's a hell of a drug, man.
You ain't kidding, man. Like, yeah. It's any chance of something original maybe popping up? Star Wars is original. Yeah, hey man, I had this argument on movie fights. Since there's an episode 7,
yes,
aren't Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi now technically prequels as well?
They do qualify.
So I don't
want
to hear any more of this fucking like fuck the prequel shit, because now you talk about Empire, fools. Think about it. I'm right.
You just married into that family. Like I can't complain about them. We're all family now.
Yeah, he pulled it. Marc said it to you correctly, man. I said some people online going, no, that's the original trilogy, and the other one's the prequels. But if we're dealing with an episode 7, episode 1 through 6 would be technically what, Marc?
Prequels.
There it is.
According to English.
Can we put that in front of Black Judge?
I'll allow it.
There it is. There it is. All right, man, let's dive into other stuff.
Okay.
We teased at the top of the show. Supergirl.
Yes.
Supergirl did something amazing on just the recent episode that aired just the other night. You can download it, or you can just go watch it. I'm sure if you're anywhere near the internet, someone in your world threw this picture at you.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Me and Marc got to see it. We interviewed Andrew Kreisberg. It's like Christ without the T. Kreisberg, who runs Flash. He was on Green Arrow. He's doing Legends of Tomorrow. Fantastic guy. He's on the podcast this week on Fat Man on Batman. Long interview with him. In any event, he was over and he was talking about something that was about to happen on Supergirl. And we were like, what? And he goes, you want me to spoil it? And we were like, yes. He goes, I can't tell you, but I could show you. And he showed that picture and we were like, oh, it's John Jones. I can't believe we live in this world. It's a big, amazing time, folks. For those that were like, who is that? That's John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, motherfucker. If you're listening to the DC part of the show, shame on you. He is an integral member of the Justice League everywhere but in the Zack Snyder universe. They're not touching that character yet. Who cares? They're touching it on Supergirl. So if you're like, who's going to do John Jones? They did it, and they did it beautifully.
Oh, so good.
Watch that scene, right? Oh my God,
that whole
it's
episode,
touching.
That episode, I think, is maybe the best episode of Supergirl I've seen.
You
so
think
far.
that's where they've hit their this is the show?
They figured it out, and it takes every show a little bit of time to all right, here's the characters, here's the actors, here's what they're good at, here's what stories we can tell well, and that one felt like the one where they found the gear.
Is beautiful, man. I'm in now. I think the show has had, the Berlanti stuff is so close to the comics, it's crazy. As we found out from talking to Andrew, they're all a bunch of fucking DC nerds over there, so they love throwing in little references that then grow into whole storylines. He talks about mentioning Nanda Parbat, which eventually led to them getting Ra's al Ghul in Arrow. Because bit by bit, they're like, well, League of Shadows and League of Assassins, he has to be the guy who trains them, and they finally get their holds on him. It's crazy.
I love that it was basically they were conning Warner Brothers into letting them have stuff by including these little nuggets that the execs wouldn't recognize. So, by the way, we've said all of this. We got to come correct. We told them about Nanda Parbat, League of Shadows.
Oh, they're having such a good time over there. But Supergirl seems to be no exception. And he told us stuff that they're doing for the rest of the season, which is like, get on board right now, man.
Forget it.
The Berlanti verse they're just doing. They're crushing on TV, and Marvel crushing over on Netflix. You don't even have to go to the movie theater anymore.
Nope.
I get more excited about this shit. Like Flash, I downloaded this morning. I didn't watch it live. I downloaded it because I subscribe to iTunes. And wake up 5 a.m., fucking blaze and watch that show. It's perfection, dude. I look forward more to that than like Batman v Superman. I'm not putting Batman v Superman down. I'm just saying, like, I know what to expect out of this show. Consistent quality. We watched this week's episode.
I did watch this week's episode.
This week's episode of The Flash had me crying 3 times. And a lot of people are like, stop crying at this shit. I can't help it. I'm an old man. I smoke too much weed.
I'm a father. We cry about these things.
And there's so much dad stuff in this episode.
That's the stuff that always got me.
The first thing that really hit me emotionally was when Patty starts telling a story about her dad getting killed. Because suddenly you're like, this is classic comic secret origin type stuff, man. And she, instead of putting on a mask, she went into law enforcement. And then they pay that off in the third act, another emotional beat where, she cuffs Barry to the ground. It's Flash, you don't know it's Barry yet, with this like electronic leg cuff.
Yeah. Which is
metahuman,
badass.
it's really cool.
Cisco.
More of that. Yeah,
Damn,
it's got to be, right? But, and then she goes to shoot somebody. I don't want to spoil if you haven't seen it. She goes to shoot somebody, and Barry kind of talks her out of it very emotionally. Really beautifully put. And you can see the struggle. I love that actress. She's tremendous.
Yeah, I've never seen her before. She's great.
She's more of her, man.
Yeah, and I love the fact that, like,
so good.
The way they construct that scene is that she's exposing her heart to the Flash, not knowing that it's Barry. So Barry now has information that she doesn't know he has.
Right.
Like, it's that awesome, like, who's got the secret? Like, somebody's got to know a thing that the other person doesn't know, kind of in any scene that you want to do, and now he's got the secret. And it's great. It's so great, because now he's conflicted. But, like, I know the stuff about you that I shouldn't know. And watching him wrestle with that is awesome.
See, that's why you have this guy on the show, man. He's a writer. He thinks like a writer. I'm a writer, and I watch the show, and I just go, so good, so good. And I slap myself.
I know why.
Mark's sitting there breaking it down. He goes, well, of course it's good, because here's why. He knows how to construct a story, man. He's so smart. Third big cry moment in that show, they save for the third act, and it's also a huge addition to the world of The Flash. And if you know the world of The Flash, you get excited, because this is the future. the introduction of Wally West.
Yes.
They teased it for a few episodes. We learned that the actor was going to be cast. Anybody know the actor's name?
I don't.
Were those people? Wait, Liam McIntyre, is that his name?
No,
That's the Weather Wizard.
Kenyon Lonsdale.
Kenyon Lonsdale. Basically, it gets introduced in the tail.
Yeah.
3 minutes of the show.
Yeah. Like they mention him for a little bit. And they say his name was Wallace. Well, that was my father. That's what we were going to name you if you were a
That scene
boy.
was beautiful. Like they haven't done a fuck ton with Iris this season.
No,
compared to last season where it was all Iris all the time. So they gave her a really nice scene with Jesse and as Iris and her dad, Joe, talking about she comes to grips, finally tells him like, you have a son. And he nailed it. It was wonderful.
Oh, Jesse Martin is so good.
Such a good actor. You can hand him that scene, which like, you might hand another actor that scene in like one of these TV shows and be like, that was ridiculous. Like, this is very soap opera. That's what occurred to me when I was watching this episode. I was like, this is a soap opera.
Totally.
Literally,
In
this
the
is
best
like
way.
addictive. Like my grandmother was addicted to The Young and the Restless and stuff. And they put in all the elements and the way, like, sometimes I see my grandmother cry at a soap opera and be like, what are you, a mindless idiot?
Luke and Laura are going to get back together. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm like, don't be ridiculous, Graham. But now I do the same thing where, like, they know how to play me, man. Like, they do that scene. He opens the door and you see Wally and he's talking to Joe and you just look at Jesse's expression, his performance. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And like, they've gotten to the point on that show where they can earn a season finale being an emotional beat. Like, there's no like super bad guy they've got to fight. There's no like the world isn't colliding. The tornadoes aren't ripping the city apart. It's
excellent.
At this point, it's just holy shit. This is what this means to this family. That's your creator.
And that was. You're so right, man. That's how they went out on their mid-season break, essentially. Well, there was a little post-script Zoom, but they always do that. But the aside from that, it was a very juicy addition to the Flash universe, because for those that don't know, come on, how do you not know? He's a Flash. He becomes Wally West becomes a Flash, which they can have. In the comics, Barry dies, but they've hinted at crisis. Like, it's exciting because it just means like, oh my God, they're following like the trajectory. They're doing it right yet again. And go listen to that episode of Fat Man on Batman, the audio version. Kreisberg's a genius, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he takes us through Arrow, takes us through Flash, and then takes us through Legends of Tomorrow. Let's talk about the other aspects of Flash, and then we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Because that story was great, but Mark Hamill came back as the trickster. More importantly, and he was wonderful. And this
good.
Minutes before Force Awakens opens,
He's
which
having a good December.
you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you hit a streak and whatnot, or you sit there in life go, I could just use a win. Mark's having a month of wins right now. It's crazy, man. High profile parts. And then the Weather Wizard came back, and of course, Captain Cold, who Jason Mewes loves. I think he's great. I think he's a wonderful actor, but Jason Mewes is obsessed with him. He's just like, that guy's the best actor I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, all right, fair enough, but you have worked with like Alan Rickman.
Just saying.
I mean,
Rock
other
was
people and stuff,
there
he's going, no, that guy, he makes that Captain Cold. I wish I was Captain Cold. Captain Cold's such a cool character, man. He's cool. So I give it up to that actor. He's
And I love that they did a
tremendous.
Prison Break with the guy who was on Prison Break.
What do you mean? Explain.
Wentworth Miller, his first TV gig was as the lead in Prison Break, along with Dominic Purcell, as they were the two brothers who were caught in prison.
I didn't know that.
And so now this movie has a Prison Break in it with Prison Break guy in it.
And Jason Mewes was a fan of Prison Break, so it's all coming together. Oh my God! But anyway, if you haven't watched Flash, watch Flash this week. It's phenomenal. Last thing, that's it. We're done.
That's it.
Oh my God, we've done with DC, man. If you want to hear more, come back next episode in a couple days, and we're doing Fat Man on Batman, catch all everything, which includes like Star Wars and whatever else genre
Maybe like
stuff
a
we want to
year-endy
talk about.
thing. We can do a little wrap-up.
And next week, man, we're going to be doing, like, I'm going to be on the road, but I'm going to we'll do our episode of Force Awakens reactions. So no matter where I am in the world, I'll shove a camera in my face and be like, look at this.
Oh, my God.
This is my own jizz on my own face. I loved it. So make sure you come back for that. Tell your parents. They want to watch that as well.
Bring the kids.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. But so thanks for hanging out with us here in the Fat Cave. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Kevin Smith. Follow Marc Bernardin here at Marc Bernardin with a C on Twitter. Or hopefully he'll return soon from Montreal.
No, you never can tell, my friend.
Follow me at that Kevin Smith, if you will. Shy of that, man, we'll see you next time here in the Fat Cave. Same fat time, same fat channel. YouTube.com/Kevin Smith. We're still figuring that out.
We're getting good at this.
for watching Fat Man on Batman Turkeys. You want to see more of this? Subscribe to my channel. Click below. Tell your friends. Join us in the Fat Cave. All sizes welcome. All are welcome. Crossover children. All are welcome.